not aircraft carriers. Okay? So hold on. This one. Alright, you ready? Hopefully doctor again. Here we go. So, what is the big thing about Navy submarines? Well, you know, when you're diving, you gotta have something, you know, like a vehicle. So, you know. The northern states were like, some of those southern states are having a real problem. What on earth could we possibly do? Then the southern part of the continent was like, we got all this stuff, trees and stuff down here, we're trying to transplant and help them out, but what on earth would we do? We said, God divide the waters. You know, you got one ear over here, you got one ear over here, like the southern continent and the northern continent, and mountains of Colombia's and mountains of the southeast, and you got the mountains of the north. You got this big ravine down the center of it, you know, in the southern parts of the United States. We go, what? They don't remember symbolism. But we make it really complex and really cool. You know, maybe they'll start to learn and listen. So he says, yo, why don't we make a Navy submarine? A nuclear Navy submarine. You mean, yeah, man. And we don't ever want to shoot those things off, but it'd be really cool for symbolism. Really? Yeah, man, instead of shooting off nuclear missiles from our naval submarines, we'll shoot rockets from a space center. Great idea. And we go, what's the submarine for? We don't know. We just thought it was cool to put it in the deep waters, you know, for those people that are in deep hot water with their spirits, you know, in trouble with God. So we put a deep water submarine way underwater to go fishing. You know, Jesus in the old days, he's fishing from a boat, throwing a hook off the line, man. And we're like, what are you talking about? They banned that net fishing stuff. They were getting all the bad stuff with it too. So it's like, well, you know, what will we do? Well, we'll make a Navy submarine and we'll go way, way deep, deeper than anybody ever went before. And they go, wow, that's way in the subconscious. We says, yes, but that's what they said they needed. So we made a Navy submarine. And we says, well, you know, if God can do it, so can man. Why? Because God gave promises to man. He says, here you go, a Navy submarine, a feat like no one ever seen before. Those submarines go so deep, and they come back up, and they're alive. He says, well, you know, they couldn't understand the physical. They couldn't understand the spiritual. They couldn't understand the technology. So he says, okay, if they're going to get baptized, let's just put a bunch of them on a submarine. We'll sink them down real deep and bring them back up and then show the whole world. They say, look at this. Now that's God talking. And he says, well, what do you mean? Well, we got birds and animals and trees and Indian sign language and everything else on God's green earth. Well, they got technology and aliens too, you know. And the angel says, what are we going to do? He says, well, you know, where's that Navy submarine? And again, I'm talking about the church. These kids ain't interested in church no more. He says, yes, they are. Have you seen the NIV Bible? That's the New International Version. All kinds of technology and translations. And these preachers, some of these preachers, they're like, I don't know what to do anymore. And he says, well, just hold on. Have you heard about those messengers? They're waking up all over the planet. The preachers are so excited, and they're like, man, I can't wait to preach. These people are going to be running for the churches. He says, well, no, not just the churches, the community. Man, it's going to be crazy. Hey, that's called a God, you know, all-around party. You know, it's a grand old party, man. It's like, you know, way back on the day when all the good people got together before all the technology and stuff. They're like, hey, we're going to make this stuff. It's going to be cool. Said, what's cool? Well, they forgot. So he says, new man, you know? New man, you know? New Mexico? New man, Mexico, you know? And I'm like, you guys ever talked to angels before? We're trying to teach it a language now. Not everybody understands it, so that's why we got preachers and ministers. Sometimes they get bored, they're like, what are we supposed to do? And they pray too. Don't let them lie to you. Those preachers pray just as much as I do. And they go, man, can you send us a Hail Mary? Well, they tried to play football, you know, like spiritual football, because they had no idea. And they praying to God and said, we need a Hail Mary. And it says, a Hail Mary from God. Did somebody call the United States Navy? He says, well, yeah, we sent out hope and mercy. And man, I hope and more see the truth. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, okay, we need some of those southern Spanish angels. You know? What? The splainish, you know? The splain ish and a shah. You say ish and a shah. Well, you know, it's a man and a shore. You know, the shores of heaven and a promised land called America, a big continent. Anyways, that's something for the day. You know, we'll get one. No phone numbers? Oh, no phone numbers. Okay, cool. I can put this sign on here. Look. The Atlantic Boulevard Baptist Church. You know? Atlantic Boulevard. It could be in any eastern state, in the north, the south, I don't know. But hey, go on a Bible adventure and find it, you know? We got Jim, rigging. You see, rigged on? See, there's rigging on those Navy ships, you know? And, you know, diplomacy of nations. That's a good pastor right there. He's going to be preaching like crazy. You should go check him out.